Good evening. This is Chair Brian Haggerty of the Board of Trustees for the El Paso Community College. I'd like to apologize to everyone that we're running about an hour late. We had a long meeting with facilities today. So this is our scheduled monthly meeting for July 28th, 2021. Teleconference audio can be accessed by dialing toll-free number 1-844-621-3956. Enter the access code 120-021-6484. Please press the hashtag to access the call. And through a video audio feed found at youtube.com/goepcc. Any member of the public wishing to make a comment or question regarding an agenda item can email the comments or questions to the following email address: boardquestions@epcc.edu. Okay, can you call the roll, Pam?
Yes, sir. Mrs. Robles.
Aye.
Mr. Uxer.
Here.
Ms. Pena is not present tonight, sir. Ms. Sanchez.
Here.
Dr. Graham.
Here.
Ms. Naheda.
Here.
Mr. Haggerty.
Here. Dr. Smith, could you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. All right. Pam, I think we're over to 1.4.
Item 1.4, approval of minutes. This would be for the Facilities and Finance meeting of June 23rd, 2021, and the regular Board of Trustees meeting of June 23rd, 2021.
Move to approve, and I want to note that on the June 23 board meeting, we were told the substantial completion date was August the 5th.
Second.
Oh, they're gone.
Any discussion? Call a question.
Mrs. Robles.
Aye.
Mr. Uxer.
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez.
Aye.
Dr. Graham.
Aye.
Ms. Naheda.
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty.
Aye.
Welcome. You can do the welcome.
Yep. We want to welcome all our guests and staff members. Pam, do we have anybody for open forum?
No, sir.
Okay. Number 1.7, presentation.
Item 1.7, presentations by individuals, groups, and organizations. Item 1.7.1, Dr. William Zarata, college president, will recognize the individuals who have retired from the college district.
Chair Haggerty and members of the board, it's always a bittersweet time, in particular at this point in times. Dean Jan Eveler, the Trans Mountain Campus Dean, after 37 years of service to El Paso Community College, Jan Eveler, Campus Dean and Dean of Arts, Communication, and Social Sciences at the Trans Mountain Campus, is transitioning to a well-deserved retirement at the end of this month. Dean Eveler started her higher education career at EPCC in 1984 as a part-time reading instructor and became a full-time faculty member in 1989. 5 years later, in 1994, she earned tenure. During Dean Eveler's career, she served as a reading discipline coordinator and as a district-wide coordinator. She also served on numerous committees, including the district-wide task force for the redesign of ESL courses, chair of the Trans Mountain Campus Institutional Effectiveness Committee, curriculum, testing, textbook, student learning outcomes, and several standing committees. Dean Eveler also served as Special Projects Assistant to Dr. Dennis Brown, former Vice President of Instruction, and continued in this role under Dr. Steve Smith. In this VP Assistant role, Dean Eveler facilitated the district-wide Grade Appeals Committee and was also the first point of contact for other student matters arising to the Vice President's level. She coordinated the NISOT Annual Conference and Award Ceremony, now the AACC Excellence Award Annual Event, maintained instructional area procedures, and assisted the vice president with various aspects of the hiring process that included committee composition, ensuring adherence to the college procedure. After serving as special projects assistant to the vice president for many years, in 2012, Dean Eveler competed and was selected for her current dean position at Trans Mountain, where she has served for the last 9 years. In Dr. Smith's words, Dean Eveler has done an exemplary job and worked hard to build her career at EPCC. She can be proud as we reflect on her accomplishments on behalf of her faculty, staff, and students. She has earned the respect and admiration from her colleagues and me and will be sorely missed. Congratulations, Dean Eveler, on your well-deserved retirement. Olga C. Chavez, Director of Diversity and Inclusion Programs. Olga C. Chavez was hired in July 1975 at Logan Heights campus by Dr. Alfredo de los Santos, almost exactly to the date, 46 years ago. Her position would be to serve the students as a licensed professional counselor. That beginning path took her to later being involved with seeing the establishment of every campus. As a counselor, she held an executive role under the Faculty Senate and continued her path as chair of the scholarship committee that developed exciting events such as the Scholarship Run and professional fashion shows held in local hotels. Her beginnings also brought her to assist in the development of a career center and later as the first counselor to be assigned with faculty as a division counselor. As Olga continued her journey with EPCC, she became the head of the Women's Center, where services such as counseling, childcare, non-traditional occupations, and ESL human development classes were offered to students at the Rio Grande campus, as well as students in community centers throughout the city. Part of her role was to lead, along with other community and college women leaders, the Adelante Mujer Conference, which she directed for 10 years. It was a successful community college conference that some still talk about to this day. After those years of working with the Women's Center, she served as the director of the EPCC Foundation Diversity Programs from 1999 through 2006. Olga and the Foundation Board were successful in bringing in $1.2 million for scholarships and numerous diversity events to include Hispanic Heritage Month. Since 2006, Olga, in her new role of Director of Diversity and Inclusion Programs, has brought numerous cultural events and programming to the college family and community to include famous celebrities and well-known dignitaries, both as presenters and honorees. Diversity and inclusion programs continue to bring events such as LGBTQ training, Black History Month, Women's History Month Diamond Award, and the development of a strong diversity council. Olga has always been involved in her community and beyond. Olga is also a past president of the Boys and Girls Club and of Hospice El Paso, and has held positions as well as in Leadership Texas and other community, state, and national organizations. As she continues her journey and makes the transition into retirement, Olga awaits the best part of her life, her family. Her family, husband, Robert, sons Robert Jr. and Adrian, and her parents, Mr. and Mrs. Garcia, were always an integral part of the EPCC activities. Now it's time to spend time with them along with her 4 grandchildren. She plans to channel her energy towards raising funds to help her special medical needs granddaughter have a better life. Olga's message to her college family: a special thank you to EPCC, whom I consider like my second home, and who gave me the opportunity to meet and work with so many people from all walks of life. I will never forget you. Thank you, Ms. Chavez, for your dedicated service to both El Paso Community College and the El Paso community. We wish you the very best in this next chapter of your life. And finally, we have Professor Thomas Enrique, who began his career at El Paso Community College in the fall of 1974, when he was interviewed for a faculty position and hired by Dr. Alfredo de los Santos, the founder and first president of the college. After teaching at the Logan Heights facility for several years, he was assigned to the Rio Grande campus, where he established the Health Careers Program in partnership with Project Hope. He served as the first division chair for support courses at the campus. He was selected to be one of the first supervisors for the Workforce Development Program, and he coordinated the New Beginning classes. Later, he left the world of coordinating and administration, returned to the classroom, and taught government classes primarily at the Rio Grande campus and throughout the district. Professor Enriquez has received numerous awards and recognitions over the years, including the National Institute for Staff and Organizational Development, NISOD, Teaching Excellence Award. He was a nominee for the Minnie Piper Stevens Teaching Award, and he earned a Certificate of Achievement from the Presidential Classroom for Young Americans in Washington, D.C. Professor Enriquez has participated in many community service activities in El Paso. He's worked with his political science faculty colleagues to secure the passage of the first bond issued by El Paso voters to fund the college. He also served as an interim to a city councilman and functioned as an administrative assistant. Professor Enriquez is incredibly proud of his career at EPCC, and he retires with many fond memories of the EPCC family. Memories will last from the pioneer days at Logan Heights, where he shared his first office, literally a closet, with a field mouse, to the national leader EPCC has become. He fondly stated, "My experience has been truly amazing. I'm so thankful and grateful to all of you." Professor Enriquez wants you all to know that he will miss you, the entire college family, and he wishes you continued success going forward. EPCC, the best place to start and finish. Thank you, Judge.
Dr. Serrato, please, on behalf of the board, please extend our congratulations.
You bet.
They will be missed.
Item 1.7.2, optional written report submitted by the presidents of the Classified Staff Association, the Professional Staff Association, the Faculty Association, and the Student Government Association will be read at this time. We received no reports from those organizations for this month. Item 1.8, communications, there is none. Item 1.9, Board of Trustee business. Items 1.9.1 through 1.9.6 will all be addressed after executive session, I believe.
That's correct.
Can we go forward? Okay. Item 1.10, board reports. Item 1.10.1, Treasurer's Report of June 30th, 2021. No action is necessary. Item 1.10.2, President's Report. Item 1.10.2.1, Dr. William Serrata, College President, will update the Board of Trustees and audience on recent events that have transpired at the college to include an update on the COVID-19 pandemic and appropriate actions taken.
Always a pleasure to update the board on activities at the institution. Our dental hygiene students must pass a national board written examination and a regional clinical exam to apply for the state licensure. This year, 16 students from the dental hygiene graduating class of 2021 took a patient-based clinical exam, and one took the exam with the pass rate of 100%. 8 of the 16 students have also passed their national board exam. The remainder are scheduled to test in August. EPCC and the dental hygiene faculty are exceptionally proud of these students who have faced educational challenges during the pandemic. Each semester was extended to meet the social distancing requirements, and they attended the clinic during semester breaks and holidays. Congratulations to our students, and the faculty are behind our students' success. Thank you for all you do. Actions taken since the last board meeting. I participated in 50 virtual and in-person meetings, participated in 5 Texas Association of Community College meetings as we continue to prepare for the fall special session, 1 TAC Executive Committee prep call, 1 TAC Executive Committee meeting, 1 Community College Finance Steering Committee meeting, 1 TAC Legislative Committee meeting, and 1 TAC Quarterly Board meeting. I will become the chair of the Texas Association of Community Colleges effective August 1st of this year. Participated in the Seal of Excellencia convening with the 14 colleges and universities who have earned the Seal of Excellencia. Texas institutions include UT Austin, UT San Antonio, UTEP, Austin Community College, South Texas College, and El Paso Community College. Held 2 COVID meetings with the college COVID team to review data as numbers once again begin to rise in our community. Participated in the El Paso branch of the Federal Reserve Bank of Dallas board meeting and represented the El Paso branch at the Federal Reserve Bank of Dallas Board of Directors meeting. Participated in 2 American Association of Community Colleges board meetings. Participated in the Future of Work Committee meeting hosted by the Borderplex Alliance. I participated in the meeting with City Reps Hernandez and Anelo, as well as Jessica Herrera and Dr. Smith, all with an eye on how we ensure that the El Paso's economic recovery is as swift as possible. We are now in our 7th week of our return to campus operations. I'd like to provide the board with an update on the COVID report. The 14 days of decreasing cases, currently we're averaging 58 cases per day, which is slightly higher from the prior 2 weeks during which we averaged 43 cases per day. While the last 21 days have seen an increase in the number of daily cases, we continue to be significantly under the 212 case limit per day for a community our size. The rolling 7-day average is the one metric that is alarming, as it currently stands at 9.97% and has been above the 5% goal for 16 consecutive days. We will continue to monitor this metric and act accordingly. The cumulative positivity rate stands at 9.67% today and has been below 10% for 9 consecutive weeks and continues a downward trajectory. The infection rate continues to fall. We have not seen a single day for the last 11 weeks of exceeding the daily total of 212 cases. We currently stand at 69% of our population aged 12 or older fully vaccinated and 80.4% of our population having received their first vaccination. To summarize, we continue to meet the 14 days of decreasing cases, although daily cases have increased. The infection rate in the 7-day rolling average has increased above 5%. 7-day rolling average has been higher than the goal of 5% for the last 16 days. The cumulative positivity rate continues to fall and has been less than or equal to 10% for 9 consecutive days. For 9 consecutive weeks, pardon me. As such, we'll continue to operate in phase 1 of our return to campus plan. We will continue to brief the board and monitor the data, and while it was our plan to be able to implement phase 2 of our return to campus plan effective August 2nd, 2021, when based on the data we would be able to begin 50% capacity with 100% of staff participating, I suggest to the board that we delay the implementation of phase 2 of our plan until Monday, August 16th, a 2-week delay. I will brief the board via email on our status, and should the 7-day rolling average fall back to 5% or less, then we will begin implementation of phase 2 on August 16th. That concludes my report, Chair Hagerty. And I'm happy to answer any questions from the board.
So if things, we're delaying implementation right now till August 16, and then if things get better, what percentage?
Yes, Dr. Graham, it's my recommendation to the board that we put a 2-week delay. Initially, we would have started on Monday at 50% capacity with 100% of staff participating. I'd recommend to the board that we maintain 25% capacity over the next roughly 2.5 weeks, and that we continue to monitor the data. At the end of the week of August 9th, I will reach out to the board and send each of the board members an email indicating where we are with the data and a recommendation. My hope is that the rolling 7-day average will fall below 5% once again, and that on Monday, August 16th, we will be able to go to 50% capacity from the 25%. So we would continue to operate at 25% capacity through the 15th of August.
Any other questions? Okay, Pam, 2.1.
Item 1.11, consent docket. This includes item 3.2 in the personnel section.
Do you have a motion?
Motion to approve. Second.
Any discussion? Call the question.
Mrs. Robles.
Aye.
Mr. Uxer.
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez.
Aye.
Dr. Graham.
Aye.
Ms. Naheda.
Aye.
Mr. Hagerty.
Aye.
Item 2.0, administration. Item 2.1, the following TASB BD local policy is presented for first reading. BD board meetings. This is, no action is required. The item 2.2, the following TASB CC local policy is presented for first reading. This is CC annual operating budget. No action is required. Item 2.3, the following 24 TASB Category D policies are presented for first reading. D, personnel. So those are all just for first readings. So,
Do we need any action on this, Doctor? No? Okay. Number 3, personnel.
item 3.1, discussion and action to approve full-time staff and faculty recruited in positions funded by the institutional budget.
Have a motion?
Motion to approve?
Have a second?
This, we're on 3.1, correct?
3.1.
I have a concern with one of the Director for Distance Learning. Can we discuss it in executive, or?
You want to move this item to executive?
Just the one item, the Director for Distance Learning Support Services.
You want to move that one item to executive session?
Yes, sir.
Is that your motion? Okay. Do I have a second on that motion?
Second.
Any discussion? Call a question.
Mrs. Robles.
Ms. Robbins? They called for the question. She called for the question. 3.1.
That's to move the one position, Ms. Belen, to executive session that Dr. Graham wants to discuss in executive
It's
session.
action. There's no action to be taken today?
We have to take we have to take the roll to
Okay.
move it to executive session.
Okay. Aye.
Mr. Uxer.
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez.
Aye.
Dr. Graham.
Aye.
Ms. Naheda.
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty.
Aye. Now, do we have to ask for 3.1, Counselor, to be passed?
3.3, you mean?
Well, at 3.1, she asked that one item be put into executive session.
Not for 3.2, that's part of the consent agenda.
Huh? I'm just asking, do we need to pass the whole question now? Because we only voted on that one issue.
No, I mean, you could come back and take all the items after executive session, or if you want to, you could just approve everything and parcel that one out, but I would recommend to take everything after executive session because it could be a wholesale approval.
Okay, so we'll move 3.1, 3.2, and 3.3 to after executive session.
Okay, item 3.2 is on the consent docket,
Okay, we voted.
and item 3.3 requires no action, so just the item 3.1.
Okay.
Right.
3.1 is the only one we're reading.
Just
Going back.
3.1, that's correct.
All right. 4.1.
Hold on one second here. Item 4.1, discussion and action on the approval of contracts with several purchasing cooperative awarded vendors for the district-wide purchase of office products in an amount not to exceed $750,000.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Call the question?
Mrs. Robles.
Aye.
Mr. Uxer.
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez.
Aye.
Dr. Graham.
Aye.
Ms. Naheda.
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty.
Aye.
Item 4.2, discussion and action on the renewal of a one-year software maintenance support contract with Aleutian Higher Education for the Banner Enterprise Resource Planning ERP system in an amount not to exceed $293,048.
Move to approve 4.2, 4.3, and 4.4.
Second.
Any discussion? Pam, can you read 4.3 and 4.4?
Item 4.3, discussion and action on the annual renewal of the Microsoft Campus Agreement for Microsoft Academic Licensing in the amount of $227,808. And item 4.4, discussion and action on the procurement of advertising services from various radio stations for fiscal year 2021, 2022, in an amount not to exceed $200,000.
I'll ask one more time. Is there any question? Okay. Call the question. Yeah.
Mrs. Robles.
Aye.
Mr. Uxer.
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez.
Aye.
Dr. Graham.
Aye.
Ms. Naheda.
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty.
Aye.
Item 4.5, Discussion and action on the procurement of advertising services from various television stations for fiscal year 2021, 2022, in an amount not to exceed $180,000.
Move to approve 4.5, 4.6, 4.7.
Second.
Any discussion? Go ahead and read 4.6 or 4.7.
Item 4.6, discussion and action on the procurement of district-wide advertising services with several publication vendors for fiscal year 2021, 2022, in an amount not to exceed $150,000. Item 4.7, discussion and action on the approval to award a contract to Clear Channel Outdoor for outdoor advertising for the fiscal year 2021, 2022, in an amount not to exceed $100,000.
One more time, any discussion? Call the question, please.
Mrs. Robles.
Aye.
Mr. Uxer.
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez.
Aye.
Dr. Graham.
Aye.
Ms. Naheda.
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty.
Aye.
Item 4.8, discussion and action on the approval of a contract renewal with Innovative Interfaces Incorporated for annual maintenance of the Sierra Library Services platform, which integrates all college library services in the amount of $78,151.
Move to approve 4.8, 4.9.
Have a second?
Second.
Okay. Can you read 4.9, Pam?
Item 4.9, discussion and action on the approval of adding a signatory on bank resolutions for Wells Fargo Bank, N.A.
Any discussion? Call the question.
Judge, just to be clear, on item 4.9, it does require the appointment of someone, and the motion doesn't have that. So I would kindly ask, I think the staff's recommendation, if I'm not mistaken, is to add Ms. Sanchez as the secretary of the board to be the signatory in the account, and the removal of Trustee Robles in light of the fact that she doesn't hold that position anymore.
You want to add that to your?
Yes.
Okay. So moved. We'll add her name to the motion.
Add it to my motion? Okay, that we,
You agreed to pass it, we're going to add her to the bank account. And he wants us to add her name.
I could read the motion, and if you want to adopt it. So item 4.9, the proposal would be from staff, a motion to approve the addition as a signatory on the bank account for Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., of Cristina Sanchez as secretary of the board, and the removal of Belen Robles from that position.
yes, that's the motion. Thank you.
Okay. Ms. Arnold, you want to second that also?
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? Call the question.
Mrs. Robles.
Aye.
Mr. Uxer.
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez.
Aye.
Dr. Graham.
Aye.
Ms. Naheda.
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty.
Aye.
Okay. Section 5, Physical Facilities, item 5.1, discussion and action on the approval to award a contract to Contract Associates of El Paso LLC for the purchase of classroom furniture for the Northwest and Trans Mountain campuses in an amount not to exceed $339,395.
Do I have a motion?
Motion made.
Second.
Any discussion?
The only question I have is, are we gonna add the amount, Pam, to, it just said not to exceed? Oh, I see it, it's underneath, never mind.
Yes, it's underneath, that's why I
Yes.
went ahead and read that amount. I
Move
think
to
it had
approve.
something to do with the number of characters that were available there. I'm not sure, but we'll follow up on that.
Move to approve?
Second.
Any discussion? Call the question.
Mrs. Robles.
Aye.
Mr. Uxer.
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez.
Aye.
Dr. Graham.
Aye.
Ms. Naheda?
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty?
Aye.
Section 6, Curriculum and Instruction. Item 6.1, discussion and action on the approval of a one-year contract renewal with GOBI Library Solutions from EBSCO to purchase library materials for the EPCC libraries in an amount not to exceed $169,476.
Move to approve 6.1, 6.2, 6.3, 6.4, 6.5, and 6.6.
Second.
Gotta read all this, Pam.
Give me 1 second.
It's money coming into the college.
Okay. Item 6.2, discussion and action on the approval of a contract renewal with online database and discovery service provider EBSCO for EPCC libraries in the amount of $50,832. Item 6.3, discussion and action on approval of a grant award from the U.S. Department of Education High School Equivalency Program in the amount of $474,696. Item 6.4, discussion and action on approval of a grant award from the U.S. Department of Education College Assistance Migrant Program CAMP in the amount of $431,334. Item 6.5, discussion and action on approval of a grant from the National Endowment for the Humanities in the amount of $34,669. Item 6.6, discussion and action on approval of a subgrant from the University of Texas at El Paso in the amount of $25,000.
Any discussion on any of these items?
Chair Haggerty, I'd just like to commend and ask Dr. Smith if he'd like to mention any of the staff that worked on each of these respective grants. It is a substantial amount of resources coming into the institution, and we're certainly proud of the staff that has worked on these.
Thank you, Dr. Serrata. Absolutely. We've got a number of incredibly innovative folks that have been working very hard on this. Most of you have seen Dr. Muro come in and discuss the CAMP grant and the migrant opportunities for GED and additional training. So I know Dr. Muro is listening in as a panelist, so congratulations to both him and Dr. Conklin. Several deans and Ms. Margie Nelson-Rodriguez have participated with UTEP and the Humanities Grant. So if you would allow me to recognize Dean Blaine Primozic and Dean Tony Badillo, along with Ms. Margie Nelson-Rodriguez on those activities. I also want to recognize, of course, the grant staff, which are instrumental that report under AVP Mo. We couldn't do it without them as well. So thank you, Dr. Strada.
Absolutely. So it's just under $1.2 million of grants coming into the institution.
How many grant writers do we have?
I'll defer to AVP Mo for the number that report in her area. I know that the faculty work with the grant department to write the grants and develop them. So if we include them in the number, there are quite a few. AVP Mo indicates we have 5 grant writers at the institution.
And that's their full-time job, the grants? Because they're doing a really good job.
Yes. Yeah.
Maybe we should double them.
Thank you, Dr. Graf.
Okay, call a question. Pam?
Mrs. Robles?
Aye.
Mr. Uxer?
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez?
Aye.
Dr. Graham?
Aye.
Ms. Naheda?
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty?
Aye.
Items, Section 7, Student Services. Item 7.1, discussion and action on the approval of continuing education tuition rates for new courses.
Move to approve 7.1 and 7.2.
Second.
Read 7.2, Pam.
Item 7.2, discussion and action on the approval of continuing education tuition rates for revised courses.
Any discussion? Call a question.
Mrs. Robles?
Aye.
Mr. Uxer?
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez?
Aye.
Dr. Graham?
Aye.
Ms. Naheda?
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty.
Aye.
Section 8, Community Services, there is none. Would the board like to go into executive session at this time?
Yes, please.
The Board of Trustees may conduct an executive or closed session pursuant to Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code for one or more of the following reasons: consultation with its attorney to seek or receive legal advice, or consultation regarding pending or contemplated litigation, or for any purpose authorized by law; discussion about the value or transfer of real property; discussion about a prospective gift or donation; consideration of specific personnel matters; discussion about security personnel or devices; or discussion of certain economic development matters. The board may also announce it will go into executive session on any item listed on this agenda if the subject matter is permitted for a closed session by provisions of Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code. Any vote regarding these items shall be taken in open session. Item 1.3.1, discuss with legal counsel regarding the suspension of an employee in student and enrollment services and related matters pursuant to Section 551.074 of the Texas Government Code. Item 1.3.2, discuss with legal counsel regarding pending litigation styled Martha Quinones versus El Paso County Community College District and Hector Ariola in the 448th Judicial District Court of El Paso County, Texas. Cause number 2018 DCV 2171 pursuant to Section 551.071 of the Texas Government Code. Item 1.3.3, discuss with legal counsel regarding matters related to amended EEOC charge filed by Carla Cardosa, charge number 453-2020-1306, pursuant to Section 551.071 of the Texas Government Code. Item 1.3.4, discuss with legal counsel regarding the proposed EPCC employment contracts for the 2021-2022 academic year pursuant to Section 551.074 of the Texas Government Code. Item 1.3.5, discuss with legal counsel regarding college president's evaluation pursuant to Section 551.074 of the Texas Government Code. Item 1.3.6, discuss with legal counsel regarding college staff recommendation regarding the use of college facilities during the COVID-19 pandemic pursuant to Section 551.071 of the Texas Government Code. Item 1.3.7, discuss with legal counsel regarding pending litigation styled Alex Molina versus HB Construction, Inc., David Favela, and El Paso Community College, cause number 2020 DCV 1502, pursuant to Section 551.071 of the Texas Government Code. Item 1.3.8, discussion with legal counsel regarding the proposed EPCC adopted TASB personnel policies related to discipline and dismissal pursuant to Section 551.074 of the Texas Government Code.
Okay, we're back in regular session for the Board of Trustees monthly meeting. Pam, we have to discuss items under 1.9 Board of Trustee business. Out of the items 1.9.1, 1.9.2, 1.9.3, 1.9.5, and 1.9.6, there's no action needed. So could you read 1.9.4, please?
Item 1.9.4, discussion and take possible action to approve the proposed EPCC employment contracts for the 2021-2022 academic year.
Do I hear a motion?
Move to approve?
I'd like to clarify the motion. The motion would be to approve the employment contract tenured faculty, the employment contract, and then the employment contract probationary tenure track non-tenured faculty.
Okay, any discussion?
Second.
Go ahead and call the question, Pam.
Mrs. Robles.
Aye.
Mr. Uxer.
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez.
Aye.
Dr. Graham,
Aye.
Ms. Naheda,
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty.
Aye. Also, Pam, we need to revisit 3.1. Could you please read 3.1?
Item 3.1, discussion and action to approve full-time staff and faculty recruited in positions funded by the institutional budget.
Do I have a motion?
Move to approve?
Second?
Any discussion? Call the question.
Mrs. Robles,
Aye.
Mr. Uxer,
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez,
Aye.
Dr. Graham,
Aye.
Ms. Naheda,
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty.
Aye. Also, for everyone's information, the Board of Trustees will have a workshop on Saturday, the 7th at 9 a.m. at this facility, correct, Pam?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And our next board meeting will be on the 18th. We'll also have a facilities meeting that will start at 4, and the board meeting will follow after that at 5. Do I hear a motion for adjournment?
Adjourn.
Second?
All in favor? Aye. Okay, we'll see you next month.